Out of focus for the start of the stream. Great. Camera, you had one job. Camera, you had one job. For God's sake. Right. Come on. Come on. Anyway, even though I'm out of focus, welcome to the stream, everybody. Let's see if that does anything. Nope. Is that better? There we go. Fixed it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry this one is quite early. Well, a lot earlier than usual because I'm going to City's under 21s game tonight in North Ferriby. So that and that kicks off at 7. So that kind of dictates where the preview will be slotted in, really. And got to have tea and then get there. So and getting there's a bit of a way. So it has to be at this time. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. But it should mean no less fun. But I'm gonna have to crack through this one pretty quickly. What was I going to say? I'll quickly check Twitter to see if there's been any more updates. But Liam Rossignol said in his press conference earlier that they are going to appeal. They're going to appeal Oscar Estupinan's red card, and they're going to use Louis Sibley for Derby at the weekend as an example. And I know there's been an example in the FA Cup as well about just inconsistency with refereeing, and they've only got yellows. So they're trying to say, look, we don't want you to rescind the ban completely, just reduce it from the 3 games down to the 1. The inconsistency in refereeing in this country is absolutely it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute Mickey take. But it is what it is. So team news, Oscar Estupinian is suspended. That's his suspended. Is suspended for 3 games after his red card in the first half versus Millwall. Saladin Adam Handler's returned to full training following a groin injury. He'll be back just after the World Cup. And then Benjamin Tete, hamstring owner. Andy Cannon, unregistered. Benjamin Tete, hamstring plus unregistered. James Scott, unregistered. Alaya Sayadmanesh, hamstring. Not Vaughan Coville yet. Adama Traore, hamstring / Achilles plus unregistered. Vaughan Coville, knee. And Josh Emmanuel, illness plus unregistered, remain out injured. In terms of, do I expect any of them to play for the 23s tonight? I think maybe Timothy Lutatala might play. No, he'll have travelled with the squad, won't he? He'll have travelled with the squad and be 3rd choice. So Lutatala will not play, I don't think. I think Josh might. Salah might. James Scott maybe. But I'd expect it tonight to be predominantly an under 21s team that you'd typically expect to see. So in goal, Fisk or Macaulay. Defensively, Charlton, Leake, Taylor, Leckie, Matty Jacob, those sorts of guys. And then in midfield, Ollie Green's been loaned out. That's why I didn't include Tom Nixon in that either, because he's been loaned out too, as has Josh Hines. So midfield, Sincere Hall, who's more of a wing player, to be fair. But then there's Harry Lovick. There's Macca Snellgrove's loaned out. I'm trying to think who else there is. Central midfielders wise for the Harry Wood. There we go. Harry Wood, Callum Jones might play. Billy Chadwick can play there. He might slot in. Greeny's been loaned out. Harry Wallace, maybe. And then up top, there's Will Jarvis, who might have travelled with the team. And Jim Sims, also a lot of fans saying about him. I think it's crystal clear that if he doesn't play for the 21s tonight, he has travelled with the team to Cardiff. I think it's more likely he's involved for Saturday than Tuesday, purely because he would only have had 1 day's training. I don't think he's trained with the first team yet up at Cottingham. So I think it's a little bit unwise maybe to throw him in straight into a travelling squad after only a day training at Cottingham. So I think if Rosenior's going to do that, I think he would do it. I think he'd include him on Saturday after they have the day off Wednesday, but he might have trained with them Monday. He might have trained with them today before going to play for the 21s, maybe. Before the team flew down to Cardiff this afternoon. But then he'll be training, if Rosenior chooses to put him up there, that is, he'll be training Thursday and Friday before the game as well, plus his game tonight. And Sims has started incredibly well. Jim Sims has started incredibly well. He has to be knocking on the door now, surely. And assistant head coach Justin Walker isn't travelling with the team to Cardiff. He's staying back so that he can watch the game. The under-21s game tonight at Ferriby. And with his knowledge of how to bring players through, I think he could be quite big for us in the future and helping us develop those boys through. Right, ref watch then. The referee is James Bell. 2 liners are Philip Dermott and Andrew Aylett. The 4th official is Lee Doherty. We'll move on to stats. These are taken from our last game against Millwall, where possession-wise, Millwall definitely had more. Attacking-wise, Millwall so far clear of us, but defensively, our success rate and our 46 clearances to their 7 is nuts. 46 clearances, but clean sheet, 13 fouls as well, plus the red card for Oscar, but 46 clearances. That's quite simply just nuts. That's crazy. Liam Rosenior, I forgot to mention earlier, he also did say he asked Liam Rosenior about more additions to his Baz Cooper, asked Liam Rosenior about more additions to his coaching staff, and he says another one is close. Yeah. Who do I think this will be the familiar face? Who do I think it'll be? Don't know. Good afternoon, Charlie. How are you? And I forgot to say hello to you, Josh, in chat earlier as well. We'll move on to head-to-head, where we'll have a look at Cardiff's team. Made a lot of signings. They made a lot of signings in the summer. In the last game, they beat Sunderland 1-0, and their team was Allsop in goal. The back four was Romeo, Kipra, Perieng, or is it NG? Don't know. And then Niels and Kunku on loan from Everton at left back. Then it was a holding midfield 2 of Wintle there and Rawls, with Ojo, the attacking midfielder, before. And then on the wings, they had Callum O'Dowda just there, and Jaden Philogene with, was it Harris up top? I think it's Harris up top, yeah. And I think Callum Robinson is still suspended from what happened in the Wales derby, but maybe more time has passed since then. The players that they had coming off the bench in that game, Andy Rinomhota, Roman Sawyers, Gavin White, former City loanee, of course. So, well, let's see how that one unfolds. If Gavin White gets on the pitch for Cardiff against us. So Cardiff, beat Sunderland 1-0 in the last game. As for their last 5, with 2 to go until the World Cup, it was a 3-0 defeat to QPR, a 2-0 defeat to Swansea, 2 games with 2 red cards in a row. Then they beat Rotherham 1-0, lost 2-1 to Watford before beating Sunderland 1-0 on Saturday. Their 2 games before the World Cup are, of course, against us and then Sheffield United on Saturday. I've just stopped sharing the thing. That wasn't what I wanted to do, and I forgot to change the banner too. Hold on. There we go. So then for us, we've got our last 5, a 3-1 win over Blackpool and then a 4-2 win over Rotherham before 2 defeats at home to Blackburn and Middlesbrough, and then the 0-0 draw with Millwall, and our 2 games before the World Cup are Cardiff, of course, and Reading. Hello, Coxie, how are you? What we're thinking then, will Oscar get his band down to 1 game? Perhaps. But we will see. We will see, won't we? Let's move on to the league table then. I do apologise if you're not getting the long preview that you might like, but like I said earlier, if you've just joined the stream, I'm going to City's under-23s game tonight. I was just explaining it. This is so early because I'm going to City's under-21s game tonight, which kicks off at 7 o'clock, and that dictates and the timings to get there and to have my tea and stuff like that. That dictates that this preview has to be early, and it will always be early on a Monday if I end up going to the under-21s games. But the league table, Cardiff up in 14th on 24 points, and we would leapfrog them if we beat them, but our goal difference is so shockingly poor that we need to win. We need to win 9-0 to jump above them, which is quite remarkable. And then we're sat 1 point above the relegation places as Carlos Corberán is finally getting his West Brom team together, and Huddersfield painfully poor under Mike Fotheringham, but yet they still managed to beat us. Incredible. And then Wigan down there below us 2, and we beat them 2-1, of course. Still no idea who this new backroom staff member is. Not a clue. But Baz Cooper said familiar face. So we trust in Baz. Charlie, it is at the Dransfield Stadium in North Ferriby. Free entry for members. And if you are a non-member, it's £5 for adults, £3 for concessions. I am confident for the game. I am quite confident indeed. Will. So let's move on to Around the Grounds. These games are, of course, rescheduled from Championship Matchday 9. So the games that are tomorrow, some of them have already been played, such as Wigan versus Blackburn, Bristol City Preston, and Burnley versus Norwich. The games that are tomorrow, the 7:45 kickoffs, are Birmingham versus Swansea, Stoke versus Luton, Blackpool versus Middlesbrough, QPR versus Huddersfield, Cardiff versus Hull City, of course, Sheffield United versus Rotherham, and then the 8:00 kickoff is Watford versus Reading. And then in December, Sunderland will play Millwall and Coventry will play West Brom in the games rescheduled from that match week. Is Marcus going tomorrow? I think he will be. Memorable match. We're going to go through to 22nd of February 2014, where we travelled to Wales and won 4-0 with goals from Huddleston, 2 from Yelovich and 1 from Jake Livermore as well. Our team that day, this is going to be a bit all over the place because Curtis Davis certainly was not at left back and David Myler certainly was not starting up front. But in goal was Alan McGregor. The back four, I think it will have been, or it might have been a 5. I think it's more likely to have been, based on this, 5. El Mohammadi at right back, 3 centre-backs, Rossini, Davies and Alex Bruce. Maynard Figueroa at left back, 3 centre-mids, Myler, Huddleston and Livermore, and then Long and Yelovich leading the line together. The bench, Steve Harper, the goalkeeper, James Chester, Robert Corran, George Boyd, Yannick Sagbo, Sonny Aluko and Stephen Quinn in Cardiff. And then last time out against these guys, it was when we wore the black at the NKM. Goals from Syed, Manesh and Coyle gave us the win there. Our team was Matt Ingram in goal. Back 3 was Jones, McLaughlin and Greaves. 2 wing-backs were Coyle and Fleming before, and the midfield was Slater and Smallwood, the captain. Honeyman and Lewis Potter started behind Syed Manesh. The bench was Nathan Baxter, the keeper, Doherty, Eves, Ryan Longman, Tom Huddleston, Deshaun Bernard and Marcus Force, with Shota Avaladze in charge. And then our record against these guys before we get this wrapped up. In our last 5, 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw. Beat them twice last season, which is the best representation of what we've got, or best representation of what we suspect Cardiff's team will be like. Shared shirts is David Marshall. He was with Cardiff from 2009 to 2016 in 728 appearances. He didn't score. And then he left Cardiff, joined us, and was with us for 3 years after being signed by Mike Phelan and left at the end of his contract under Nigel Adkins. 67 appearances, failed to score, of course, because goalie, mate. And then my predicted 11 for this game. I think Rossini will stick with the 4-3-3, and I think he'll stick with a relatively unchanged team. So in goal, Nathan Baxter. At right back, Cyrus Christie. 2 centre-backs, Jones and Figueiredo. And at left back, Jacob Greaves, the captain. Central midfield, Ryan Woods, Jean-Michel Seri and Regan Slater. On the right, Ryan Longman. On the left, Demetrius Pelkas. And up top, I think Tyler Smith will come in because he is an actual striker. On the bench, Matt Ingram, Louis Coyle, Ozan Tufan, Greg Doherty, Gökhan Sinek, Sean McLaughlin and Brandon Fleming. So Fleming will come into the Matchday 18 to replace Estupinian. And what shirt we're playing in, don't know, mate. We'll find out tomorrow morning. Jim Sims, I think he'll play tonight, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream, Will. I think it's unwise chucking a player in after having 1 training session with the first team, especially when we've got a number of players fit and with more first team experience. I'd give Jim Sims a run out on Saturday, but not tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night. On to my predicted score. I think we'll do pretty well. I suspect Cardiff will. I don't know. I think Cardiff will expect us to come and just do what we did against Millwall and shut up shop and see and hope for the best. But I can see us playing a bit more of an expansive kind of way, a bit more like Rossini wants us to play, trying to dominate the game, pass out from the back, and I can see us winning this game 2-0. Confident. I'm confident. But we'll see. Will also reckons 2-0. Des reckons Rossini will be the artist of a 1-0 win. Charlie reckons 3-0. Do I think Rossini is the one to take us to the Premier League? Well, we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. And do I think Harvey Vale will play for the 21s? No. I think he will be in the Matchday squad. He'll be with the travel. He'll be one of the players that have travelled with the team to Cardiff. I think he might have travelled. Lotta Tyler will have travelled. Elder might have travelled as well. And maybe Will Jarvis will, I'm not sure if we will find out, but we might end up finding out soon. because he might be in the squad tomorrow. Who knows? But thank you for watching, everyone. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow night for the match reaction. We'll be vlogging my voyage to the under 21s game tonight. Thank you for watching. Take care, and goodbye.